Hello everyone, welcome back to my course on enhancing soft skills and personality. We are in the second week and this is unit number 2 and this is actually lesson number 7 on the whole. In this week, I have started discussing with you about managing time, and in this unit, in this lesson in particular, let's try to look at how you can use the time efficiently. And before we start looking at this lesson in particular, let me briefly give you the highlights of the last lesson. What did we do in the last lesson? In the last lesson, in which I started first to talk about managing time, we discussed about the importance of time and various perceptions of time. I pointed out the fact that it's our perceptions combined with our attitudes and again accompanied by our habits which actually make or mar our life and career because of the way we respond to time. Okay, so that determines the way people try to look at us. We either have concepts in relation to time that is fixed or flexible, and in terms of terminology, we call those with a very fixed time frame of mind as following monochronic perspective, and then those who have a kind of multifarious activity minded personality having this perception of time in terms of its polychronic nature. So, when it is monochronic, the person is very much fixed in terms of schedule, and when somebody is using a polychronic time schedule is open to interruptions and then quite flexible in terms of using the time frame. In this context, I briefly discussed with you about Salvador Dali's clocks, which actually capture the relative and flexible nature of time. Why it is important that we need to know whether our mindset is relative or flexible in terms of time? Because people assess your personality by the way you treat your time, and whatever soft skills that you learn, whatever soft skills that you might imbibe, so those skills will not help if people can see through you, okay, your perception of time, and especially if you try to mismanage time, whatever cosmetic touch you will give in terms of soft skills will not have any relevance. So, it is important that your soft skills learnt, imbibed should go with your personality that has a very disciplined sense of using time, and you need to know how to manage it effectively also. So, in the last lesson again in terms of controlling time, I gave 3 important points. One, take log of your time. I suggested that you identify not only the peak time, but also the time in which you waste. Just identify how your entire day is spent, how your week is spent. Identify in terms of similarities between days. See how your Sundays are spent, how your Mondays are spent, and then see how you are spending 1 month. See how you spend a year, one academic year. Okay. In certain cases, it can be financial year also, but see whether a pattern is emerging. And then the second one is scrutinize time leakage. Just see in your entire week, in your entire day, how are you wasting time or how time is slipping without your knowledge. And the third point I made is once you are able to identify the time leakage, try to control it and then use it for more productive ways of advancing your career. That is, try to create time for those activities which you can use in a creative manner. Now, to do more things in less time and much more efficiently than others, I also suggested that you should try to synchronize the real clock with your biological clock. So, we all have our circadian rhythm, we all have our peak active time. So, I just put an acronym to indicate that. I call it as PAT. It is the time that you get a pat. Okay, you are just pushed, you feel that you have lot of energy. It could be for some early in the morning, some even in the evening, some it could be even late night, but try to identify that peak active time and try to work accordingly. Success is doing the right thing at the right time in the right way and living a life without any regrets. Now, let us learn in this lesson as how to use your time efficiently. Using time efficiently implies that you make the most of your time by doing activities of high value and ensure that the time gets utilized in a productive manner. This means you try to filter activities of less value or activities of no value and then use all your time by doing only the activities of high value. Now, an interesting fact about time in reality is that we cannot actually manage time. Okay. Whatever we do, time goes on its own pace and then you cannot stop time. In a sense, you cannot manage it, but we can only manage ourselves, our habits, our perceptions and our relationship with time. In order to alter our perceptions, our relationship with time, what should we do? The first thing is you plan for your lifetime. The lifetime expectancy has increased, and if God willing, and then if you are saved by all medical and technological advancements, one can even live up to 80 years. Now, what is the lifetime that you expect? Is it 80, 70, 60, 50? But this is without giving contingency to the fact that there could be natural calamity or any sudden accident that can cause death before the normal expected lifespan. That apart. Suppose you are assuming that you will live happily till 65. Okay. Now, what are your plans for this time? Whether it is education, career or relationships, try to plan for your lifetime. If you think your lifetime is up to 65 years, if you think that no, you are already weak and then unhealthy, you will live only up to 50 years, but have you thought of what will be your lifetime plan? So, plan at the age of 50, at the age of 60, what are you going to do? Where will you be? In terms of education, you should understand that real education is a lifelong learning. One diploma you got and then that led to another degree, which led to other degrees, which led to other advancement programs of your career and so on. So, you never end up having done something and then you stop educating yourself. It is a lifelong learning. So, if you understand that, how long will you continue to learn, what will you learn and how will you apply that learning? Think about that and choose your learning path that will keep you stimulated throughout. This means you should choose something for which you will be so passionate about, and then you will never feel tired or unmotivated whatever happens in your path. So, in terms of your career, decide at what position would you retire. To reach that position and place, what should you be doing at the age of 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80? So, what should you be doing? Now, once you understand that you will reach a position, you will reach a level in your career and you will achieve this in your life at this age. Now, what should you be doing to achieve that at this point of time? So, to do that, look at the next suggestion I am giving. Break your life plan into realistically achievable goals. Identify your merits and limitations. Have a realistic assessment of the possibilities of making things happen if you work with what you have. So, first know where you are strong and also know where you are weak. So, with your strength, so make a realistic assessment of the possibilities of making things happen if you work with whatever assets that you have. So, normal people can have it, let us say in 5 years, maybe you have some special abilities, you can finish it in 4 years, or you are slightly having some deficiency, so you will take 6 years. So, you assess how much time you will take to achieve a target that you have in your mind or a goal that you have set for your lifetime planning. Should you not change your strategies once you know fully that this is going to delay? Should you not change your strategies, work in a different manner, imbibe new and different sets of skills, especially if you want different results? Yes, you should. If you work in the same manner, you will get only the same results. If you want to produce different results, totally different one, you need to adopt different strategies. In terms of using time efficiently, some people try to resist managing time. Okay. Why do they do that? They resist managing time because of the delusion, or by deluding them into the belief that they do not want to be slaves of time. They say that no, making schedule, making tight, rigid time plan, so and then sticking to it, that makes me look like a slave. I do not want to run after time all the time. But as a matter of fact, liberation, freedom comes from oneself only by efficient management of time, only by sticking to a schedule, only by sticking to a plan and trying your maximum to follow that plan. You will be able to free yourself and create more time for yourselves. When you mismanage time, you are actually a slave to your passion, slave to your habits, slave to the fact that you are always postponing and mismanaging time. Now, how to use it efficiently in terms of managing? Some more suggestions: write your goals. Now, your goals may keep changing, maybe every 5 years, 10 years, or there may be some paradigm shift in your thinking and the goal may change even at the uh, stroke of a midnight, or just overnight you can just change your plan, that is fine. But currently whatever goals you may have, you should write or you should type it in a paper, you should stick it in your diary, you should put it in your planner, or you should keep it in your to do list, because goals will become achievable only if it gets written, only if you type it, only if you write it. You have to see it graphically. Okay. Only then your mind will accept it by visualizing internally. So, you can write it even on your bathroom wall. Successful entrepreneurs, people who tried for competitive careers like administrative services. So, there are people who have written their name along with IAS, IPS, or whatever degree they wanted to achieve on the bathroom wall, and every time when they were taking bath they were reading it. Okay, and then they were trying to internalize, and some people started this even when they were just in 10th standard or so, and then they kept on visualizing this. So, it is important that you write it on your bathroom wall or even on the mirror. Like Steve Jobs, we are told that he wrote on the mirror that is especially when he was diagnosed for his cancer. So, he wrote on the mirror that if this day is the day that you are going to die, would you do the same thing that you plan to do today? Okay. Then whenever he looked at if this is that day, the final day, so he altered his to do list, and then he went for the most important one, that is on the topmost priority. Some people write it on the table. So, wherever you want, you write it and then see it, keep it in your mind, internalize it all the time. So, keeping on visualizing them and then striving to achieve the goals with constancy of purpose. So, it is very important. So, that determination should not go away from you. That will come only when you write the goals and then visualize it. Secondly, prioritize your activities. While making a lifetime planner, it is important to arrange your activities or work to do on a daily, weekly, monthly and yearly basis. Use a planner, whether it is offline or online, but then you try to do this and then arrange the topmost important one on the top. Stick to your activities. Once you have prioritized, you should stick to your activities and completely avoid distractions of all kinds. And stop leakage of time, at least try to minimize distractions and interruptions. Let us try to look at these points elaborately now. First, about time leakage. How do you let the time get leaked? What do you do so that you do not realize that the entire day is just slipping, and then at the end of it you feel that you have just wasted so much of your time? What have you done and how does time get leaked? It can happen because of these reasons. allowing others to interrupt. Okay. So, you are so busy, you are in the flow, but then you let people interrupt, they just drop in and then they come for a chat and then they want to just spend some time, they want to pass their time, kill their time, but then they come and completely interrupt your activity that should be completed by a deadline. Telephone calls, knowing fully that it's a spam call, it is a call from a vendor, sometimes you just take it and then you just think that you will respond and the vendor keeps on talking to you and then waste your time. So, allowing others to interrupt is one major cause. The next one is not delegating work. Sometimes people think that they are the best ones and then nobody can do the work like that. So, that is not true. If there is a work that has to be done only by you, okay, keep it. But there are certain jobs which can actually be done by other people, sometimes even better than you. There are technicians who are more adept and then more efficient than you, who can do the job better than you. So, delegate work to people, give work to somebody who can do it on your behalf. Sometimes there are friends who do it just for the love of helping you. Sometimes there are professionals who charge something and then do it for you. Sometimes there are colleagues who will take the job, but then they expect something in exchange. In whatever manner, delegate that work that can be given to others. Then taking plenty of time to decide trivial things. This means most of the times you are indecisive. Okay, and even a very small thing that you take so much time to decide. In the morning, people like President Obama and then so many celebrities, even Steve Jobs, they all wear the same kind of dress all the time because they have decided not to spend time on trivial things. Okay, and then same color, same dress, and then whether it is t-shirt or a suit, they just keep on wearing the same thing so that time is not spent or wasted on deciding what to wear, and even they consider that as a trivial thing. So, they standardize a dress and then they use it throughout. So, indecisive moments in terms of deciding trivial things will kill your time, take it away from you. It can also happen if you work with inadequate information. You are not sure how a job should be done, the boss has not given enough information, or you are not willing to collect enough information, or you are working with very less information. So, again you will waste so much of your time. Then you lack in a clear sense of priority. You are not sure whether this is the job you should be doing it at the top or you should be doing some other job. Also, lack of proper planning. So, you have not thought when you will do this, but then just like that you are doing it. Then unrealistic and rigid planning. Unrealistic and rigid planning meaning that you are not giving any flexibility to your work schedule. So, you think that it should be finished only at this time, but then there were interruptions which you did not give contingency. So, you get more stressed. And then you get stressed and then become tired. So, that reduces your work efficiency, waste your time again. The other important thing which we will discuss later is when you feel embarrassed to say no, or you say yes when you actually have to say no. So, that is a problem. So, people just come and hijack your time because they know you have an inability to say no to them. Then time leakage can happen because of disorganized surroundings. Look at your table, it should be completely clean, or only the work that should be done should be on your table. Look at your room, is it filled with untidy things and then unwanted stuff? So, keep your surroundings clean, particularly your table, your desktop. Okay, the workplace should be very clean. So, if you organize your surroundings, so your time will get organized automatically. Next, not keeping things in their places and searching for them. You should learn that you should keep things in the right place, so that if you are looking for a key, you know that the key is kept next to the door on the key hanger and all keys are there. So, when you keep all the time you should keep in the same place, so that when you look for, your mind remembers that you will look for in that place only. The moment you misplace, it will be very difficult to track it, and especially if you do not keep so many things in their places, then it is a complete mess. The next important one is getting distracted by social media, particularly WhatsApp, Facebook, and in general, whether for a personal or professional level, getting email notifiers. The most important thing, either on your mobile or on your laptop or on your desktop, is to remove all notifiers. Okay. So, when an email comes, you need not know when it is coming. When a WhatsApp notification comes, you do not have to know it immediately. Same thing with Facebook. Some people think that, okay, I will put it in the silent vibratory mode. Even that you just remove it, because even the vibration, if you are sensitive enough, can distract you and then can cause you stress. It is human tendency to just quickly check who has sent what, and that anxiety that all the social network is giving us as to see, oh, whether it is an important message that I need to attend immediately. And 99% those are not important messages, and if it is an important one, you will know anyway. Okay. So, keeping this in mind, let us look at emails particularly and see how you can save time by managing emails, because emails are real time disasters if you just let yourself distracted by emails. Instead of getting up in the morning and checking the email for the first time and then keep on checking it using your mobile apps, using your laptop, using your iPad, using your computer, keep specific time for checking mails. Okay. People will know when you are checking mails and when your reply will come in a day. It can be sometimes in the afternoon, noon time, before lunch or after lunch. So, identify those times when your energy level will be low, because this does not require high energy level for working, it is just a response that is needed. And use filters, spam filters and other filters to sort mails according to subjects. So, all spams will go to one filter, one folder, and then you just delete it. And then mails according to the subjects, you can create folders and send the mails directly to the folders. Suppose it is just coming from a group, okay, and then which you do not have to see all the time, it is about some subject that you are interested. Okay. Let us say you are interested in cooking and you joined a cookery group, and then they keep on sending a menu every day. So, you do not have to immediately see that, you need it only when you are going to cook. So, do not look at that frequently. So, use the filter, let it go to a folder and be there, open it when it is required, or open at the specific time in each day when you have planned to open it. When you look at the subject, okay, and usually saying that buy a new credit card, okay, and then you do not want a credit card. So, just by looking at the credit card subject, you can just delete it. Look at the subject, even without opening, you delete it, it will save so much time. Act immediately once you open an email, because the time you think that you will take a second look and then keep it and then go again and then decide just to delete or to respond, is actually going to waste your time, in the sense that you are utilizing time twice for the same activity. So, once you decide to open a mail, decide what you will do with it, and then if you have to delete, delete, if you have to respond, respond, do not keep it for a second look. If however, you need to keep it, really it is an important mail and then you have to look at it carefully and answer it, it will have some legal validity, you flag it and then keep it in a different folder, but then do not keep it in the inbox. Okay. Why? You need to keep the inbox clear, because efficient email management is indicated by a clear inbox. Clear inbox gives a feeling of peace, calm and mental satisfaction. When you look at the clear inbox, it's like your mind is also feeling that it's clear. Never use your inbox as a reminder list. Create a pending waiting folder in case you have to keep some mails as a kind of waiting or something that requires your attention at a much later stage. By using these tips, you will be able to save time by managing emails. What are other time cancers? Okay. What are other factors of time that will eat time and consume it without giving time for you for very highly productive activities? The most important time cancer is your own lazy mindset combined with immediate pleasure seeking thoughts. So, you need to focus on the immense satisfaction you will derive by accomplishing a job as per your priority and in efficiently in time. So, sometimes often some pleasure seeking activities like even watching TV or just chatting with a friend may take over an important activity in which you need to complete an assignment before the deadline. But the mind thinks lazily and then seeks for that immediate pleasure. So, you need to control it, and then you have to think about the great satisfaction that you will derive by completing a job as per your priority and efficiently in time. And then never do a thing that you can do it today and then never try to postpone it for tomorrow. So, human tendency is to leave it for the next day, and then thinking that okay, next day things will become better. Now, about this postponement, procrastination, we will discuss more in the next lesson. But some people waste away their time, while away their time by believing that they will wait till the pressure mounts up. They will wait till the 11th hour and they think that they are masters of 11th hour, and then they think that they will work under pressure. But the problem is often when you work under pressure, you somehow finish the job, but then you realize that without that pressure, you could have finished that job much better. Last minute, you overlook some important points, important errors, but then if you could finish it before time, you can give contingency for checking the document one more time. And then the thinking that nobody is in a rush, why should I do it in time? So, looking at the peer group and thinking that hey, everybody is in a slow mode, so why will I run and then finish it before time? Okay. So, I will follow the peer group. The other mentality is to thinking, wanting to know the end results, saying that you need the end results before starting. So, saying that if only I will know, I will pass in this examination, I will study, otherwise I have been failing in this exam for 3 years. So, there is no guarantee that I will study now. So, nobody can give in written about the end result, but there is only one guarantee that if you work hard and strive to improve yourself, definitely the end result will be according to what you expect. So, thinking that end result should be positive, and if it is not shown to them beforehand, people do not even start their work. Now, this is also combined with the escapist tendency, that is running away from any tight schedule and foolishly believing that one is freeing oneself. Thinking that okay, I will avoid it, I will escape from this, I will enjoy the party and this work can wait. But actually thinking that you are escaping, you are actually putting more stress on yourself. The other thing is watching TV or surfing on the net excessively. About this I have discussed much in the previous course, but enough to tell you that both cases, watching TV or surfing on the net, has to be used in a very effective manner only when required. You can use that for refreshment, but not for killing yourself, giving you lethargy and making you feel just lazy and then become that couch potato. So, I also talked about this Zeigarnik effect, that will not let you leave a serial once you start watching it, because you need to know what will happen in the end, and the end can come after 3 years, 5 years, and you will just while away your time. So, be careful if your time gets leaked because of watching TV or excessive surfing on the net. So, you have to curtail it. There is also one worst tendency that can again eat up your time, that is this self-sacrificing helping tendency, thinking that others have come to you for help and then you will sacrifice your job, your goals, and then make their job most important and then finish helping them to complete their job. So, you feel like a hero when you are able to rescue somebody from their trouble, but then more and more you do that at the cost of sacrificing your time. You are caught in a real soup where nobody else will come to help you, and that can again give you stress. So, these are other important features, human tendencies, which actually try to kill our time. Now, in order to avoid this, I would say that you should give due regard to your deadlines. Okay. People give scant regard to deadlines, they do not bother about deadlines, but give due regard to your deadlines. The unknown deadline that God has set for us is not clear. So, as I was trying to tell you in the beginning, whether you will die at 80 or 18, that is not in your hand. Whether you are healthy or unhealthy, the unknown deadline, the day in which you will stop putting an end to all your work, is the day in which you die. So, that is not known to us. Okay. And then there are some unforeseen events that can force you to reduce your work pace. For example, job retrenchment. So, you plan to do something through your job, but then you are fired off from the job. Okay. They wanted to reduce the number of workers, but they are running in a financial crunch. So, what do? Sometimes accident that makes one inadequate for the job, ill health, natural calamity, all these things can actually make your pace reduced forcibly. Now, keep contingency to these ones. So, since you actually do not know how your deadline can be extended by unforeseen events, it is important that you always work with a great sense of urgency, as if anything tumultuous, okay, anything turbulent can happen at the next moment and jeopardize the planned schedule. It is a forced sense of urgency. Some people use the term the dying man metaphor, as if you are going to die in the next moment. So, what would you do if you are given a chance to complete what you have it at your hand, because you are going to just die on the next day? So, finish it with that kind of urgency, as if there is no time left. We always delude into the belief that we have ages, lots of years, okay, so many hours to complete a task, but when in reality we do not know the actual deadline, okay, that God has planned for us, and we do not know that we cannot keep on postponing, or how long we can keep on postponing things. What about good planners? Good planners finish a job before the deadline. They keep some time for last minute revision or improvements. Whereas bad planners, those who mismanage time, often miss deadlines and regret over lost opportunities. They all the time think that if only I had managed my time better, I would not have missed that opportunity. So, I should have submitted that in time. I would not have missed the deadline. So, that was very crucial for my career. The next thing that you should do in terms of time management is you should learn to convert time stealers into time gifters. In the ways I have been describing before, time gets stolen from you. Okay. But apart from that, time gets stolen from you when you are helpless in situations where you are forced to undergo long periods of inactivity. This could be due to traveling. So, you wait So, even if you go by a flight, so there is time you travel to the airport and then you go to the check-in and then you go through the security check. So, all the time that you spend in the preliminary travel and then the actual travel. So, these are times of inactivity in terms of academic and personal productivity. Waiting for events, waiting for meetings, waiting for a program to start, waiting for a person to come, standing up in queues to get your food, standing up in queues to get ticket, standing up in queues even to board the bus or a train. Now, all these times are the time stealers. They try to steal away the time from you. Brian Tracy, in his famous book Eat That Frog, says that instead of looking at them as time stealers, he says that you look at them as gifts of time. Why? Because you could use them as extra time for your activities. Yeah. So, you know that you are going to travel anyway, and then normally you do not plan anything, but good time managers plan that they will do some activity even during this time which are given to them as gifts. So, keep some work available for filling in these gifts of time. On long drive, for example, you can listen to an audio book. While on a journey, you can write an article, finish a report, edit a paper, reread a very important document. Today, you can use your laptop, or if you do not want to use a laptop, you can use iPad, or if you do not want to use any electronic gadget, use a small diary or a pocket notebook, or even simply carry some loose sheets. Okay. So, that will help. Anytime you get an idea, you jot it down. Anytime you want to write something, so you need some just paper or a laptop where you can type things. Schedule informal meetings when you are on travel, when you are coming back by a cab. Okay. Make phone calls during this time, whether it is professional or personal. Use this time instead of just wasting it and doing nothing. Often, if you realize this, the best productivity happens in unusual circumstances that generates out of the box thinking and fosters creativity. Many people have written good poems when they are waiting for something in the bus stop or places like that. So, many people have finished that most important project proposal when they were just traveling on a flight. There are times when the flight got cancelled and then people were just sitting uh, inside the airport and wrote that most important speech. People similarly sit on the railway platform, okay, and then again they have created wonderful things which do not happen when you force yourself and sit in the same environment. So, mind has a way of working slightly in a better manner in unusual circumstances. So, out of the box thinking can happen, and then even creative endeavors can be done during this time. So, make use of this time instead of having a negative view on them as time stealers. Look at them as gifts of time and then use them as real gifts. Now, apart from this, generally, how do you find the time? When you say, I have no time, oh, I am so busy. Now, all these things are indicating that you do not want to spend time in those activities where you say, I have no time or I am busy. So, people for example tell you exercise, okay, morning walk, you say, no, I have no time, I am so busy. Your son or daughter wants you to come for that important annual event in the school, again you say no time. All these excuses rather indicate that you do not want to spend time in those activities, because our actions reveal our priorities, and even if we claim that we have no priorities, what we do finally actually reveal to others as our priorities. There is an interesting book by Ian Seymour maximize your potential, in which he makes an interesting observation related to this. I quote from him: when people say they can't find the time, what they are actually saying is that whatever it is, it's not really important enough for them, at least at that moment, to actually find the time. The fact is, we all prioritize our time, albeit sometimes unwittingly. So, whether you say I don't prioritize my time or I always prioritize my time and this event is not in my activity, unwittingly, willy nilly, we are actually prioritizing our time. That is determined by what we do, okay, not by what we tell people. Now, Seymour proves this point by making a person who finds doing an additional boring job for an hour for 28 days impossible, but the same person agrees to do once the author is willing to offer him 10,000 sterling pounds cash at the end of 28 days. So, how come this is possible? First, the person said that doing 1 hour additional work for 28 days is impossible, and especially to do that boring work. But when the author said, I am going to give you 10,000 sterling pounds cash at the end of 28th day, once you finish the job. So, he said it is possible, and then he did it and got the money also. Now, that only is trying to prove the author's earlier point that when people say that they don't have time, they actually don't want to find the time, or at least they are trying to tell us that at this moment I actually don't find this important for me to do. But the next important thing is, when we say that whether we like to prioritize or not, we always prioritize things unwittingly, we should also make the right priorities. So, what should we keep in mind in order to make the right priorities? Stephen Covey, in his most famous book, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, he gives a model. Okay. So, you can look at this. On one side you have importance and urgency. So, the first quadrant, you fill all the urgent and important do it now activities, and on the second quadrant you put slightly low ones, and on the left it is high. So, here second one, it is important not urgent, and you decide when to do it, okay. You have sufficient time to do it. The third one is not important not urgent, okay, that you can actually dump it. And the fourth one again comes to the left side, it is urgent but not important, and this is something you should delegate. Okay. This is how you can prioritize and then look at the urgent and important and the thing that should be done only by you, and you should do it now. So, like in terms of details, the urgent and important activities could be a crisis that you need to attend immediately, pressing problems, deadline driven projects. Whereas the not urgent ones, activities like trying to prevent something, relationship building, recreation activities, thinking about new opportunities, they are not urgent but still important. The third one are activities in terms of interruptions, some phone calls, some mail, some meetings, popular activities, which sometimes you can even delegate. The fourth one are related to activities such as you spend time in small errands, trivia, which you can completely ignore, some email, some phone calls, and time wasters, and then pleasure activities. So, if you can divide your life plan in this manner, you will be able to identify what is the most important and most urgent one and give your utmost time to that. Now, before I conclude, you should also know something about this Pareto Principle. Pareto Principle is named after the Italian economist Vilfredo Pareto, who noted that 80% of the property in Italy was owned by 20% people, which means only 20% of the people were actually amassing 80% of the land in Italy. Now, this was later developed by Joseph M. Juran, a management consultant. He called this as 80-20 rule or 80-20 principle, and then he suggested that in business we can apply this, okay, to steady sales, productivity, etc. And then he observed that 80% sales actually came from 20% of clients. So, it is the 20% of clients rather are giving that 80% of profit to a company. And in terms of productivity, we can apply this rule to look at the fact that 80% of your inputs depend on 20% of your activities, which mean there are some very important activities. If you do that, that will create an impression that you have completed about 80% of your job. Conversely, 80% of your problems can be attributed to 20% of causes, meaning there are some source of problem. Sometimes people read this, even it could be 99% and 1 also, depending on the situation. For example, one boss, okay, and he is a really bad one who does not know how to manage time. Now, if he happens to be your boss, he can be the cause for 99% of your problems. Same thing with your life partner, a very close colleague with whom you spend all your time. And conversely, if you look at 20% of your core group, emotional, professional, academic, where you have friends, academicians, and then blood relations who all support you and then encourage you to do things, mostly they amount to 20%, but these are the people who are contributing to 80% of your life. So, what you need to do using this Pareto principle in terms of utilizing your time, prioritize your 20% happiness determinants. What will make you happy, the 20%, okay, which actually contributes to 80% of output, and avoid your 80% dissatisfaction causes. Okay. So, try to remove them and then use this 20% happiness determinants to actually enhance your 80% productivity. Now, with this thought, I would like to conclude with one interesting quotation. The author is not known, but still the ideas are worthwhile in terms of using your time effectively and by prioritizing and knowing for what you should spend your time. So, the title goes like this: take time. Take time to think, it is the source of power. Take time to read, it is the foundation of wisdom. Take time to play, it is the secret of staying young. Take time to be quiet, it is the opportunity to see God. Take time to be aware, it is the opportunity to help others. Take time to love and be loved, it is God's greatest gift. Take time to laugh, it is the music of the soul. Take time to be friendly, it is the road to happiness. Take time to dream, it is what the future is made of. Take time to pray, it is the greatest power on earth. Now, for further reference, you should read Brian Tracy's Eat That Frog. About this book, I will also continue in the next lesson. And then Ian Seymour's Maximize Your Potential. It has, apart from time management, there are so many other techniques by which you can maximize your potential. And Richard Koch's the 80-20 principle, the secret of achieving more with less. So, it is completely using this 80-20 principle to your life and achieving more with less. Of course, Stephen Covey's book, which we discussed previously also, the 7 habits of highly effective people. And if you want to simply know by just going to an online source as what is this 80-20 rule, there is a simple discussion by this Yaro Starak, who discusses this rule and tells why it will change your life. So, this is a very small article available online if you want to refer to. With this note, I take leave from you for this lesson. We will meet in the next one, which will be on procrastination. Thank you so much for watching this video. Wish you all the best to make efficient use of time and achieve success and happiness in your life.